Hi folks, I'm Aslin Bloor from AZ Entertainment. You can just see the back of AJ at the moment, but don't you worry about it, just ignore that and pay attention on me. To me, on me, whatever. So we're back for another episode of Fun Fabulous Food Down Under. AJ's back fresh from her trip all around Australia. They just had Australia Day, but I'll let her tell you all about it later. Now we have got a hangout virgin. Let me go over to him and get him to introduce himself to you. Say hello to Chef Benjamin Foster, everybody. Foster, right? Fisher. Oops.
Hello everyone, I'm Chef Benjamin. I live in the south of France, and I supply food for little events, marriages, local events like that. And I also grow a lot of my own food and produce my own meat.
Great. I love the picture of John Lennon at the back there.
Oh, everyone should have a picture of John Lennon.
We love John Lennon. We love John Lennon, definitely. So we're gonna get Ben to come and cook for us at some point. Ben's been a friend of AZ Entertainment for a while now, but we're waiting for his internet connection to get up to.
We certainly are.
Yes.
Sounding good.
Sounding good. Okay, cool. Right, we're gonna. Oh, hello, AJ. We're over to you now.
Okay, I'm making roti. Do you think the one thing I forgot was my rolling pin? Do you think I can put my finger on my rolling pin? No. But I have a bottle of wine. That will do.
Now, I'm going for all of you who've joined us. Now, you know it won't be a fun, fabulous food down under if AJ doesn't forget something. So here we go. Over to you, AJ. So what? Tell us what roti is.
Okay, roti is a flatbread, and it is the most incredible thing to make. Because if you ever wake up in the morning and you've got no bread and the baker is shut, or you just can't be bothered going out, you can just whip some up, and it's great with curry, but it's also fantastic if you have it with something like jam or Vegemite or whatever. So it's a great filler.
Excellent.
And yeah, so today we're going to do. It's great to have Chef Ben on, and today I've been away over Anzac Day and travelling around, and I've spent some time at a very, very, very beautiful farm, which is the only Humane Choice farm that I know of, and they've got fabulous free-range chicken and fabulous free-range ducks and geese, and it's been a marvellous, marvellous experience. And I've brought some back with me. This is a little Poussin or spatchcock. It's a 1 kilo chicken. And what I've done is I've just broken it down into quite a few pieces. I'll show you how to do that on another show, but because we're doing the bread and the curry, I'll just get on with it. I put a photo up of some of the ingredients.
Okay, can I? Sorry, AJ, I'm just going to have to interrupt you because sometime between us setting up and going live, the iPad seemed to have gone up a little bit. So can we just tilt it down? Is it possible at all so we can see the ingredients on the counter?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No,
Okay, and look at that screen. I love that screen. Now, if you recall, that's perfect, AJ. That is absolutely perfect.
Yeah,
and it's sun's just coming up now.
Yeah, that's why I put the screen there, because it's a problem with filming, and I need to cook over in this area. So you can see the ingredients now. So we've got lovely chicken, and we've got onion, a mixture of garlic and ginger. We've got a bit of brown sugar, because not everybody has palm sugar, some black pepper, and a curry powder that I've made up, and I'll give you the recipe for that. But the first thing that we really need to do is we need to get the spices in the pan. So I'm using a vegetable oil, but you can pretty well use whatever you like. And just a good glug of it, because it needs to be able to fry off the spices and fry off the curry powder, and you need to be able to just mix those through. But we're going to start with the onion and the garlic and ginger. It's a really, really easy recipe. Not so easy that I can't smell it, AJ. Hey?
It's a shame we can't smell this.
It is a shame, and it would be really, really clever of me if I brought across some utensils.
Well, at least it's just behind you this time, so that's okay.
I know, it's just fabulous.
We're just gonna say hello to a few people. Here we go. Bruno Miguel Santos says he can grab you a rolling pin if you like. Billy Bass is here as well. He's from Essex, Benjamin, and he loves his chilies. And we've got MJJ Namal Diaz from Sri Lanka, and Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas is also a chef in the US.
Okay, in the US.
Yeah.
Now, these have been going, and they're okay. They're not. They'll just soften up as the other things go off. Now these are beautiful fresh curry leaves. Now, there's every chance you won't find them fresh wherever you are, but that's okay. But if you can't get them fresh, get the dry ones or use a basil, wouldn't you say, Aslan?
Basil for curry leaves, yeah. Obviously,
they're very different.
Yeah, it's not a substitute, but yes, I mean, my personal preference would be just to finish it off with coriander leaves at the end.
Well, yeah, exactly. But quite often you'll find with the dried curry leaves that you don't get that much flavour.
No,
when I do my product, I use dried curry leaves, but I've hand dried them myself, so there's lots of flavour in them.
No, I think it's a great idea using bay leaves. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, no, obviously, you know, you get quite a lot of flavour out of basil and bay leaves and things like that. But I don't think there is a substitute for curry leaves. It's a very distinct flavour.
Did we say basil or did we say bay? What did I say? I can't remember what I said. AJ said bay, I think. What did I say? I think I said basil.
Basil or bay, but anyway, it doesn't matter. So I've just put a couple of chilies in there because this curry is more aromatic than hot. But if you want it to be hot, just use more chili. It's not a problem at all. And then
what type of chili would you use, AJ, for your curry, for this particular curry?
What kind of chili?
Yeah, is there any particular? Would you use a bird's eye or?
Yeah, I'm just using dry bird's eye, ones that I've dried myself. And I'm just going to put in now some mustard seed and some cardamom, some cloves, and some cinnamon bark. And I'm going to throw a star anise in because in the absence of using somp or fennel.
Star anise does come into its own in curries as well, and Chinese food too.
That's right.
Are all Fijian curries spicy?
They're all aromatic.
Like South in.
Hot. You mean spicy as in hot?
Yeah, I mean as in yeah, hot.
Yeah. No, but it's not uncommon if something isn't hot enough for you to have chilies and stomp on them.
So you can obviously add it to your own flavour or your own taste.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. The other day, I was thinking, now I've read somewhere that a chili a day is a good thing for you. And I thought, oh, okay, that's a good idea. So I was walking past the chili bush, and I thought, oh, I'll just eat one of those. So I just took one and I threw it down. I didn't chew it up, obviously. I'm just putting in the curry powder now. And that's a mix of turmeric and cumin and coriander.
Okay. Very similar to garam masala?
No. And it's also got my own so that'll.
Yeah, curry powders are usually made up of turmeric, a little bit of white pepper or black pepper, coriander, cumin, yeah, and garam. Do you use garam masala much in your cooking, AJ?
Yes, I do. I was out of garam masala. Throw a teaspoon in.
Yeah.
I've been away for 10 days.
Garam masala. I'll just mention this to the audience. Garam masala. Garam means warm. Masala, obviously, you know what masala is. It's spices. Yep. So it's basically what you add to the end to add warmth to your dish, and it is so easily homemade with a bit of nutmeg, cardamom, cinnamon, cumin.
So basically, I've got everything that you'd get in a garam masala there anyway, and I'm just putting a pinch of nutmeg in there. So, so that's all good. And
I'm going to say, when it comes to different brands of garam masala, they all vary a lot anyway, don't they?
They do indeed, yeah, they do. I mean, it's not so much. It's not. I'll just answer Ben. It's not so much, I guess, the brand as like I made a different masala, garam masala to my cousin, you know, or my aunt. So
Yeah.
to each his own.
It depends on your chili. It depends on your ingredients, to how fresh they are, how good they are, and obviously what flavors bring forward.
Ben.
Absolutely, yeah.
I've made these kind of bite-sized pieces of chicken.
Mm.
But I have left things like the wings a bit bigger, but that's fine.
So you've added. Go on, Ben.
Sorry, AJ, do you find that it's better to cook this type of curry with the legs, the thighs, the breasts? What would you recommend?
Well, it's an interesting thing that you asked, because, just bear with me for 1 minute, because before I had my Fiji husband, I would always use, I'm just putting some water in.
Yeah.
You can put stock in if you wish.
Yeah, but we don't generally use stock in curry.
I use the whole bird now.
Mm.
Because if you just use breast, you get a really quick, really quick curry, which is great. But if you use the whole chicken, you get all that beautiful flavour out of the bones, Ben.
Yeah, you get all of the fat and everything what sort of goes into it.
Mm.
Yeah. So yeah. I personally will. I
mean, I know when I cook a curry, I'm very tempted to always use thigh pieces of meat.
Yes,
because of the fat on the skin. It does really improve the flavour, and it also thickens the curry up.
Mm. Absolutely.
Absolutely. But I'd encourage you, where possible, to use the bones, unless you've made a really good gelatinous stock.
And breast meat is so bland and boring, isn't it, really?
Yeah, and if you cook a curry and you overcook it, it's so dry. It can be so dry as well. If you can let a curry sit for a lot longer of a time, you obviously improve on flavour anyway, as we know that anything that you eat the next day is always better than the day that you've cooked it.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Now, on to roti.
Watch out for that wine bottle when you do open it, though.
Hey?
Watch out for that wine bottle when you do open it. I wonder if rolling it will get you tipsy faster.
It's actually a Margaret River, which is a lovely wine producing area. It's a Margaret River Sauvignon Blanc Semillon, which I don't drink. So,
AJ, did the wine company recommend that you use them as rolling pins?
We don't have them in Australia. We only use bottles.
Oh dear.
Now,
nice.
Everybody is bamboozled by flatbreads. Whenever I go to Fiji, if I make roti, they go, "Ooh, you can make roti." It's not rocket science, trust me. What I've got in here is about a cupful of flour, but you can use as much flour as you want. I use a plain flour, a finer flour. The finer the flour, the better. Okay? And this is, I'm only making a little bit, because if I make a lot, I'll just eat it. So I don't want to do that. Now, the thing with it is this. You need to put some ghee in it, or if you haven't got ghee, don't panic, just use butter. Ghee will give you a nuttier taste, but there's nothing wrong with just using butter. And the other thing that you need is this. Aslan, you will be familiar with this. This is called a roti tower. It is a solid piece of cast iron. Again, don't be panicked by that, because if you've got a heavy base saucepan, it'll do the trick.
Or a frying pan. A frying pan, a good quality frying pan.
Did I say saucepan? I meant frying pan. So if you've got a heavy base on something, you'll get the same thing, because all that is really, Aslan, is a really heavy, solid base.
Absolutely. I'm just
Do you find the flatbreads stick at all? Could you use a griddle pan for it, a heavy base griddle pan?
Oh yeah, you could. You could use just a flat griddle pan. I wouldn't use a
not the the graduated ones.
one.
I'm just gonna bring a comment up. Michael says that I'm noticing the comment stream slowing down. People are paying attention. Impressive. What? You mean they don't normally pay attention on my shows? What you talking about, Michael?
Now this is really important. And the first time I made roti, it was with my husband and his friends were over, and they were saying, "Oh, make roti," and I said, "Okay, just tell me how to do it." And they said, "It's flour and it's water and it's some ghee," and I said, "Okay." So I just made it with flour and water and ghee. It was a disaster. They were like frisbees. Here's the knack: you must use boiling water when you make your roti. So just put a little whole. Is that better?
No, that's perfectly fine. We can see where you are.
Okay. And you just put a bit of boiling water in and mix it around. What you want is for it to be a doughy consistency. But the hot water, for some reason, just makes it much softer. Do you know the reason for that, Ashley?
No, I don't actually use hot water. That's quite interesting, you know.
I generally use hot water with a little pinch of salt in it. With the flour, it tends to make the gluten come out of the flour and a lot more pliable very quickly.
Oh, is that it?
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Ben. I'm so pleased you brought Ben along.
Only the best on AZ Entertainment.
Now, I'm not putting a whole heap of butter in.
Okay.
Because sometimes, I don't know what you think, Ben, but sometimes it's been my experience that
oh wait, I've got a birthday girl, Rita. I know I've wished you, but a very happy birthday to you once again. We do pay attention, she says.
Happy birthday, Rita.
Happy birthday.
Sorry, go on, AJ.
What I was going to say to you is I've had roti that has so much ghee in it that it's almost translucent, and I just can't bear it.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see the roti you end up with, because of course we have roti paratha, and we have that with white flour and brown flour. You've used white flour here, and of course there's chapati as well. So there are different types of roti in Indian cuisine. So
this is actually probably the day as and when I possibly should have. Now this is quite hot to touch, but you can see me rolling it, can you?
Yes, we can. Yep. It was white flour, wasn't it?
Yeah, a fine white flour.
Okay.
And that's a wheat flour, yes? Not a rice flour?
Yep. It's not rice flour, it's just a wheat flour.
Okay.
So this is what we call, it's also called a paratha. It's made with white flour. In Singapore, it's called paratha. In Malaysia, it's called roti canai. And we have our South Indian stall owners selling this. We eat this for breakfast, and they have the dough, right? And they'll fling it like pizza, like that. It's really amazing to watch them at work.
Okay, so what we've got is a snake.
Yep.
And then what we do is we just cut that into pieces that we know are going to make a decent sized roti.
Easy so far. Flour, hot water, a little bit of ghee. Mix it all up. Cool.
Now, I always take one of the pieces and put it to the side, because that's what I use for, that's what I use for buttering the pan.
Yeah, that's very clever.
The pan gets incredibly hot. And if you use a pastry brush, you'll get a dreadful shock if it isn't pure bristle, because it'll go.
Okay, one more interruption, and another birthday girl in the house. A ciao to all from Elena. Elena's in London. Happy birthday to you, Elena.
Happy birthday, Elena.
Happy birthday, Helena. Thank you for making the time to come and watch.
Yes, she's Italian. She's Italian. She lives in London.
Oh, okay. So this is incredibly soft. This is like really soft.
It is.
to use the hot water. So you need some flour on your bench, and this is where your wine bottle comes in.
So for those of you who've just joined us, in Australia, they do not use rolling pins. What their wine bottles are for. So.
Only le Pinot Noir.
Yes, only the Pinot Noir. So, all right. So I'm just gonna ask. AJ's got white wine. Ben, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking an English beer.
Hey.
Old Speckled Hen.
So I'm now going to put that
You can take the man out of England, but you can't take the English out of the man.
Here. All right. So it goes on the greased griddle and.
And then I just put this in the ghee. Or the butter.
Okay.
And it's. Can I just tell you, this is a little bit like pikelets. The first one is never right.
They always tend to burn the first ones or get a bit too crispy. Or my granny used to say. My granny used to say that the first whatever bread you're making, whatever roti you're making, or pancake even, it's always the one that seasons the griddle or the frying pan.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
The French do exactly the same. The first one always gets put aside, and the rest are always fabulous.
Ah, interesting.
Now the other thing that you need to, that will be helpful for you, is when you make them, you don't want them to crisp up. So what I do generally is I will get a piece of paper, a silver paper, aluminium foil, and I'll put that there, and I will load them onto it and then cover it, and they stay warm.
Okay.
But they don't.
Okay. We have someone, Bruno Miguel Santos. I haven't got the comment up on the stream yet, but he's thinking. Here we are. I knew I was in a Bollywood movie. No, dear, you are on the completely wrong end of the world. AJ's doing Fijian food.
Well, that's true. I am doing Fijian food because that is sort of South Pacific, close to us, and it's a place that's like my second home. So.
Hey, we've got somebody whom I've actually been aware of for a long time. Good evening from Greece. I don't know how to pronounce. Is that Nikos? Any idea, Ben? How do you pronounce that? Nikos?
Nico.
Nico, hi. Thank you so much for commenting.
Kalanikta, Kalaspera.
Okay.
It's Kalanikta, isn't it?
I think so. I think it's Kalanikta in the night.
Okay.
If you play school with me, it's perfect roti.
Okay. Excellent. Well, that's really interesting, isn't it? That's quite different from your usual Indian bread, actually.
Yeah,
it's interesting,
quite
isn't it? Yeah.
thin compared to what.
Let me tell you, this is one of the things that happens in Fiji. And
Wow.
But it's so easy, Aslan. It's so easy.
And would they generally always use it for curry, or would they use it for other things as well?
No, they do this amazing thing for breakfast, where they do, like the men will eat 20 of these, because again, they're huge, and they'll eat 20 of them. So
well,
what
they are, aren't they?
do is they do the roti with palm sugar and coconut cream.
Oh, yum.
They just layer it, and that is a breakfast dish.
Wow.
That sounds
It's a dish that will make you put on kilos.
I bet.
Kilos in days. But they work quite hard over there, so they work, physically they work quite hard. So I guess they get through it and they play a lot of rugby.
Yeah, they're quite big guys, aren't they, the Fijians?
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. We've got a comment from Cook with Sally. She says hello. She says sorry. She says hello. She says she doesn't put hot water, so this is a new one for her as well.
But can you see how pliable it is?
Yes, I do like it's. I must try that because I've never made this version ever before, so it's really interesting.
Look, it's probably the most basic version on the planet, but for me it works.
It's fantastic. I have to try it. Sally, get better soon. Too much. She's been decorating her kitchen. So too much,
Well,
definitely too much work.
I thought that was the cooking equivalent of not taking a date because you were washing your hair, Sally. So that is as easy as it can be. Now, when it's a really good batch, and I don't think it's going to happen this morning, but you know, you've got to remember I'm cooking at 6 a.m, so it's probably not my prime time. But when it's a really good batch, what will happen is it will split and it'll puff up.
Puff up.
I'm getting little bubbles, but I'm not getting the puff.
My grandfather used to will get a tea towel and press it down to help it puff up.
Oh, really?
All along. But that's chapati. That's what when he was doing chapati.
Yeah, this is like some. I know it's like some hybrid thing, but it's really, really delicious. Just so you know, the curry smells divine and it's looking really, really good.
Amazing. 26 minutes, and she's made us a chicken curry, and she's doing she's done 2 or 3 rotis already. How cool is that?
I'm just finishing off my third. Actually, you can see here, this is starting to. Can you see the bubbles?
Yes, it's popping up a bit.
But you know, as I said to you, it's like pikelets. Nothing ever goes really right until about the 4th one, and I don't know whether that's because that's when the pan is really hot or whatever. But you know, it's a delicious thing, and this, you know,
fantastic. I love the
picture.
No, they really do look lovely, AJ.
That today it's curry and roti for breakfast.
Yes, I think. I think
roti
Namal did request a roti program ages ago, last year. So there you go, Namal. Yes, he did. Now we've got hi Maurice Thompson. Maurice Thompson, hi. Thanks for taking the time to say hello. I appreciate you watching.
Yes.
Here we go. We've got a comment from Namal. Here we go. Let me bring it up. In my country, we add some coconut milk to the chicken curry, and we also add some shredded coconut to the roti. Also interesting, shredded coconut.
Yes, and that is more along the lines. And also, I've done it so I've done it so it's like I put 2 together, and in the middle, it's almost like a. I put coconut and sultanas and.
That's Peshwari naan. Peshwari naan.
Naan. Yeah, the coconut thing is lovely. I have a coconut flavor.
So let me. I'm going to ask Namal a question actually. So Namal, so when you say you add shredded coconut to the roti, is that together with? I'm really curious to see to hear that. Be interesting. I'd be really interested to try that out.
Yeah.
I've done it and it's great. And if you've got a particularly spicy curry, it just gives that sweetness to it. It's really, really nice. I'll see now. What are we on? The 4th one? Now it's starting to really pop.
Cool. Where did I see a lime? I must have missed it. Where have you used the lime yet? Or I see some lime. Did it go in the curry or?
I probably will squeeze a bit over it at the end.
Okay.
In essence, now can you see how this is really bubbling?
Definitely, it's definitely puffing up. Yeah.
AJ, I just have a quick question.
The 4th one.
Okay.
When you started your curry, you used some olive oil. Could you use like a coconut oil instead?
Yeah, I used a vegetable oil, but coconut oil is great, and I do use it. But what I find with the coconut oil, and it's such a healthy choice, but if you use the coconut oil, you can find that it's actually
overpowering.
It can overpower. It can overpower the flavours. Which sounds ridiculous given it's a curry, but
no, it is a very strong oil to cook with.
It does come through, doesn't it?
I just find it can be too overpowering, and for that reason alone, I tend to not use it.
Yeah, I use a lot
I've
of
got it in
coconut
the
oil
cupboard.
with when I'm cooking pancakes for my daughter. Obviously, because it is so overpowering, she'll eat that every time, you know, because she loves the coconut, she loves the aroma from it.
And also, she's 18 months old, so if that's the way her palate develops, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just, Namal wants me to repeat my question. So you said you used shredded coconut in the roti. How do you add the shredded coconut? With the dough itself? So do you?
Yes, I've done it with the dough.
Okay, so that's what AJ does. Is that how they do it in Sri Lanka, Namal? So I just learned today that children have a whole lot more taste. What do you call them? Senses?
Receptors.
No. Taste buds. Thank you. A whole lot more taste buds than adults, and these taste buds actually die off as they grow older, which is why they are so much more sensitive to food and why they don't like a whole lot more food or like them, as the case may be.
I find that my youngest, she really does like flavors which are really, really strong. We eat quite a lot of cacao beans, just raw. And even at 18 months old, she'll eat them.
Really?
She absolutely loves them, you know. And you give her a piece of milk chocolate, which that's not very often in my house, to be quite honest. But she will turn her nose up at that. She will prefer something a lot more dark, a lot more with a brute flavour.
Ah, that's interesting.
Maybe she has a more savoury palate.
Yeah, I think she probably does. Yeah.
My niece was obsessed by anything sweet, and that was from the day Dot. And she wasn't given lots of sweets, but she was obsessed by sweet, whereas I've always had a savoury palate.
Yeah, so I'm more savoury than I am sweet, I must admit.
This is really, you know, when people tell me that they couldn't be bothered cooking or it's too hard or whatever, what I want to show people is this isn't hard. This is really, really easy cooking. And it's such a good option to ordering in or, you know, going out for food. I mean,
but also AJ,
that is a really, really beautiful curry.
Also, AJ, you haven't used, you know, lots and lots of ingredients, but you've produced something so flavoursome, and really made the most of your ingredients.
But that's, for me, I believe that you should celebrate what the food is. Like this little chicken, that is the most extraordinary little thing. And oh, that's what I wanted to say. My next show, which is on the 15th, hasn't it?
Yes, it is, in 2 weeks. AJ was away, so she didn't have it last month, so we're making up for it twice this month. Yes, it is.
But I love cooking, so that's fine. And the exciting thing for that show is that the actual producer of these chickens is going to be on that show, and we're going to do a duck dish together.
Excellent.
So she will be down in Sydney. So she will be here at 6 a.m. So she's very committed to her product. And we're going to talk about, you know, humane choice and free-range chicken and well, we won't talk about that for too long because it could, you know, be a bit dry. But we're going to do either. It should be very exciting. It's like a harissa buttermilk chicken.
Lovely, lovely. Looking forward to it. Are you doing?
To try and use the duck. So
that would be great having the producer. Are you doing chicken or duck? Did you say duck?
I want to do the harissa buttermilk duck, but it may end up being the chicken because the duck may just be too fatty to do it, even if I take the skin off.
Okay, I have to say, if you do the duck, mind your vowels.
I just tell you, all week, I can't tell you, but the tweet was something about.
She missed it, Ben.
Yeah, I know, I see.
No, I didn't miss it because I'm going to tell you exactly what happened to me this week. I said that I had found some amazing duck, misspelt, and that I was having the best time.
He was in a conversation.
I know all about that. And why they put the U and the I next to each other on a phone, I don't know.
Oh dear.
So I'd be really interested to see if you did duck. Obviously, I live in the southwest of France, which is quite famous for duck. They do magret de canard here, which is the duck breast with it's corn fed. So the layer of fat on it is really, really big, really thick. And it's the most superb thing to cook. And obviously, when I do my show for Aslin, it's something that I wanted to cook as well. Duck with blueberries is a really good combination.
I can't wait for you to start cooking for us.
Oh, I really can't wait myself.
I think that'll be great. And I went to a canard à la presse dinner last year.
Okay.
Which was awesome. But Beth's ducks are Pekin ducks, which are Pekin, and interesting duck fact, Peking duck is when it becomes the dish. Prior to that, it's Pekin, and the number of people who get that wrong is extraordinary.
They use a breed of duck which is an Indian runner, isn't it, for the Peking duck?
No.
Is that?
It's what are the ones that hiss? It's not an Indian runner anyway, but Beth can tell you all about that. I mean, Ben, would you like to come on the show next time?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would more than welcome. I've really enjoyed tonight.
No, yeah, okay.
She's seriously one of the best producers. But anyway,
it'd be really nice to ask some questions.
Do you rear ducks then? I know you have pigs. Do you have ducks?
No, we have pigs and chickens at the moment, and I turn over 40 chickens every sort of 15 weeks or so. And obviously the pigs, they take a little bit longer, and we sort of only grow organic, sort of free range. I would like to do ducks, but there's so many people doing it in my region.
Competition is quite.
Yeah, and also to feed the ducks in the way that to get the best out of the meat, it's very expensive. And a lot of the French here, they actually put like a funnel into the duck when they produce foie gras. And ethically, my way, I'm not really. I don't agree so much with that.
No.
Can I just ask you, Ben, you're doing pigs as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to an amazing place called Near River, and they've got beautiful, beautiful pig. And I'll be actually doing spices for. It looks like I'll be doing spices for his.
Excellent.
I'll be doing spices for his sausages. I'll be doing the spice mix, one of the spice mixes. So I'll cook with some of his pork as well. You would love Australia because we've got this amazing industry where it's all about food miles, it's all about ethical treatment, and people now start to ask about the provenance of food, which is really, really important. Now,
it is. It's very important. It's very. We shouldn't be eating meat which comes over 100 kilometers from one place to the next. There's so much locally beautiful
produced food. In England, but in Australia that's not possible.
Okay.
That's fantastic. Right. So you're serving up now. So we've got the curry all done. Cooked in 35 minutes. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Yes.
Yeah. So all I would probably do is serve a little bit of. I'd probably put lime over the top, only because it's always good.
So can we find the recipe, either one or both?
Recipe up, Aslan. I just didn't put it up before I cooked.
Okay, yeah. AJ does it differently from everybody else. She puts the recipe on after. That looks lovely. That's gorgeous.
It does look absolutely beautiful.
Now, 35 minutes, people. Why order out or order in?
One more time, AJ. Anyway. Back up, AJ. I'm just going to take a photo. Back up again, please. Thanks. That's it. Cool. Done. Thank you.
The other thing that I would recommend that I forgot, because as I said, I've been away for 10 days and I came back and my coriander's not looking great. The only thing that I would probably recommend to you is to chopping up and putting through some coriander.
Okay.
Or cilantro, as some people call it.
Okay. Great. Fantastic. Fantastic. That was so good. It was easy. I am definitely going to try making that bread. I love how easy and different in texture
It's so soft and it doesn't harden up, Asna. It was the most incredible knack that somebody told me. It's great.
And it's really nice. It's really nice to see you do a curry, and there not be, you know, a whole plate of rice with it as well.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Rice or roti. I go roti every time.
Yeah, I go roti, I think.
That is.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same. Yeah, but not naans, you know. But not so much naans. I'm definitely a more of the paratha and the chapati with curry rather than naans.
Yeah, the flatbreads are definitely a lot more flavoursome.
That's right.
Yeah, and also I find naan can be quite heavy because it's got the yeast and it's risen and it's just, you know, it's really heavy. Whereas these, I regret to inform you, once you start making these, you'll start waking up early to make them for breakfast.
That's it.
It's great with jam.
That it looks like an extra kilometre on my run every day then, just for those. Cool. Excellent. That was really, really good, AJ. That was super quick, super easy, and delicious. I'm very sure it's delicious. Right, we're going to get AJ to take us out. But before that, let's go say goodbye to Ben. It's been really good having you. Yeah, your views and your opinions and your ideas have been, it's been very, very good having you on the show.
Brilliant. Thank you ever so much for your invitation, Aslin, and anytime I really would like to come on and cook soon, and, you know, really get involved.
Cool.
Thanks so much for coming on, because I've really enjoyed having you on, and hopefully you'll be back for the next one.
Oh, definitely. I'll make sure that I'm there, and it was really nice to meet you too, and really nice to see someone else cook.
Excellent. So we'll have Ben in 2 weeks, and next Sunday we've got Cook with Sally cooking from Bristol, and we've got a comment from David McRae who says that I love her use of everyday things in her kitchen. Thanks, David. Thanks for watching as well. To everybody in the audience tonight my time, thank you so much for popping in and watching. For those of you in the US, thanks for watching us. Is the Super Bowl finished? Yeah, I have no idea. Is it finished? Has it started? I don't know. It's not football. So, right. So that's it. AJ will be back in 2 weeks. I'm just going to let AJ take us out.
Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you found this interesting. I'll put the recipe up, and hopefully you can make it and post some photos of what you've made. I'd love to see them.
Great. Thank you so much.
See you in a couple of weeks.